Continues to affect Idaho counties right now, but it will also pose another problem later this year. The BLM is predicting a fire risk will be low early this summer, but it could become very dangerous later.
KPVI News that works for you reporter Jason Borba looked into this year's fire season outlook. He joins us now live in Pocatello in front of Firehouse 1. Jason, what did you learn?
Matt, Brenda, the Wildland Fire Outlook was released earlier this month, and in that report it claims the wildfire season could start later than usual, but once it does begin, it could be worse than normal, and that has major implications to people living within city limits and the foothills of eastern Idaho. The fire danger is low in eastern Idaho, as many of the hills and forests are still green from this winter's precipitation. But soon all that tall grass will dry out and could lead to an explosive fire season for much of the state.
When fire season happens in East Idaho, it happens, and it happens quickly, and fires with the fuels we have here, fires they start easily and they get big fast.
Grasses are expected to keep growing as the National Weather Service is predicting a potentially wet spring, which will keep hillsides green but making fire fuels more threatening.
It looks dangerous. It really does. There's a lot of growth out there. I know it looks pretty and everything, and everybody's tired of the winter and that. But it's tall, and most of the weeds that are growing and most of the grasses are growing will dry out really fast if the temperatures stay up.
Last year, Idaho had one of the worst fire seasons in recent history, as well over 250,000 acres were burned. And although the BLM can't exactly predict how this fire season will play out, they say large fires are possible.
Some years we have all the potential in the world and don't get the ignitions, and it's a slow fire season, and it's not a big deal. And some years we have those conditions and we get a lot of ignitions.
The higher elevations where snow is still visible aren't expected to have many big fires until late July or August. But in the lower elevations, fire experts predict things to dry out by mid-June for the start of fire season.
It's in my mind all the time, but when it starts drying out like this, I mean, it's a gorgeous, beautiful day, but then I start thinking about what can happen, and keeps me awake sometimes.
Historically, less than half of Idaho's wildfires are human-caused, but last year, over 88% of wildfires in Idaho were caused by humans, and that has prompted fire officials to remind people to be careful when they're dealing with fire and to make sure their homes are protected from any potential wildfire danger.